Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Melissa and today we're going to be doing the last installment in this year's Project Pan. So I don't do a Project Pan every year. I kind of dabble in it probably about every other year. For some reason I'd like to have a year off and then I jump back into it. It's just, I have such mixed feelings about Project Pans. I feel like on one hand they're great because you use a product, but on the other hand it feels a little limiting because then you're kind of focusing on those products to use them up. It's a whole thing. This year when I started getting that itch to do a Project Pan, I thought, okay, but I'm going to do ones that I know I'll zip through these so fast because they're almost used up anyway. And I thought, Melissa, you're brilliant. What a great way to do that. These were all products that I really enjoyed, but for some reason I abandoned them, moved on to new products, and then, you know, they languished? They laid around with just like little bits and pieces in a whole bunch of things. So I started off with roughly 25, maybe 26 products. I have one that's not on my list, but I have it taped. So yeah, that makes it 26. And I'll cut to the chase. I only have 7 products left, so I feel pretty good about what I accomplished. I'll include a playlist at the end that has all my updates in case you want to see it. In particular, the initial Project Pan video is in there. So let's just take a quick look back at some of the things that I already used up. And I was really happy to use these up. And it's a whole mixture of things. So these were covered in earlier Project Pans. I'm just gonna zip through them and probably just do them at warp speed. Now let's talk about the things that I used up since my last update. I finished up the MAC Prep-In Prime, and you know, this has such a cult following. I can't say that I loved it. I felt it kind of left me feeling a little sticky. Maybe people like it best for like wetting their eyeshadows, but I think I have other things that'll do that just as well. So I didn't really get the hype on this. Will definitely not repurchase. Well, don't say never. Never say never. I also used up the Urban Decay B6 Vitamin Enriched Complexion Prep Spray. This is the old packaging. This was my second bottle of this. You know, I really loved it. I repurchased it, and I kind of fell out of love with it. I'm not sure why. I did like the way it prepped my skin, but I know it has alcohol in it, and that every time you used it, I'm like, you're hurting your face. So this is more of a prep spray, which did nice things. I felt like it made my complexion look very pretty, but it was an extra step that I really didn't use all that often, which is why it was hard to use this up. I lost my enthusiasm for this product as well. Here's another repeat that I also lost my enthusiasm for. It's the Hourglass Veil Mineral Oil-Free Primer. And I know this is at least the second one of these I had. I loved this because it was a primer and it was a sunscreen all in one, and it didn't make me oily, and it felt very comfortable on the skin, which is why I used so much of it. But as time went on, I don't know, I just felt like I've outgrown this product. I have other things that I use for sunscreen instead. I've really gone all in on the mineral-based sunscreen. I know this is mineral-based, but let me have my moment. I probably won't repurchase this at this point because it is pretty pricey. I'm not a big primer girl, as I've discovered. So I did actually use a little spatula and scrape as much as I could out of it because you end up with a kind of a thick amount that doesn't get pulled up through the pump. So I felt like I really gave that a good go and used it all up. So the next thing I used up was this Neutrogena Triple Moisture Silk Touch Leave-In Cream Conditioner, which I loved this, and it's discontinued, or I would probably repurchase this. I like it because you put it on after you come out of the shower, you've washed your hair, and you want to like have a little extra conditioning, or it's like the middle of the winter and it's a little staticky and you know your regular conditioner isn't quite doing it. Any one of those reasons. Or if you have color treated hair, it was such a great product, and I was really sad that they discontinued it. So the last items, 2 items I was very proud of using up. This one is the Rockateur blush from Benefit. It's gone. There's like little bits and pieces in that grid, but nothing comes up when you hit your brush in there. And when I was using this, as you may recall, I like dug it out and I repressed it in the center of this pan, thinking it would make it easier for me to use, which it kind of did, but it was very crumbly. I wouldn't say it repressed that great, or maybe it was the way I repressed it. So I would go in there and I would rub my brush around, and because it was a little chunky, I'd close the top and just go up and down. So I wouldn't lose any product, and I still got, you know, lots of use out of it. This is a beautiful blush. I loved it. I loved using every last bit of it. And if I didn't have such a ginormous blush collection, I would definitely consider repurchasing this. I highly recommend it. This last item that I used up, let me just say I'm very proud of using this up. And if you own this, you know why. It's the Bliss Triple Oxygen Instant Energizing Mask. It comes in this enormous tube, 3.4 fluid ounces, and it doesn't take much to do your face. When I started it, I was like, I don't even have a feel for what's in here. Like, you can't shake it. You have no idea how much was in there. And it took me, it took me a long time to use it up. Pretty much the entire year. I probably finished it up about a month or 2 ago, probably shortly after I filmed my last update. This was a struggle bus to use this up. And what I ended up doing is I used it almost every morning as like my cleanser. I was like, I am determined to use this up. So I would pump a few on, put it on, let it foam up, step into the shower or wash my face at the sink and use it up that way. It took a concentrated effort to get through it. So how do I feel about this product? I think it's fine. I don't think it's anything remarkable. I have found so many other better masks that have more active ingredients that I feel do more for my skin. It's fun because it bubbles up. That's kind of fun. But I don't feel like it has anything in there that really is going to target any problem areas in my complexion. I'm probably not their target audience. I enjoyed using it. I am so glad it's done. So before I show you what's left, I'm like trying to think what I should do this coming up year in terms of using up product. Should I do another project pan? I'm kind of thinking about doing like a massive declutter. I feel like the foundations I have aren't necessarily all working for me anymore, and they're just staring me down, making me uncomfortable. I'll never use them all up, so I'm like, well, maybe I should go through there and try each one out again, see what I think, and declutter the ones that I like the best. Kind of like I did with my lipsticks. I really went through a hard declutter, and I could probably do a secondary declutter, especially after going through, picking out all my favorites for the lipstick wardrobe video that I posted recently. I'm like, yes, that's really what I want. About 10 items. Can I let go? So if you have any thoughts in this area, let me know. I'm kind of open to suggestion. I'd like to know what you'd be interested in watching. I know what I'd be interested in doing. And let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, let's get into what is left and where I am with them and what I'm going to do with them. First off, I have this ancient relic of an cream eyeshadow. It's from Laura Mercier. It's the Metallic Cream Eyeshadow. I have so much tape on here, I can't read everything, but I think they were also promoting it as like a base, but it's very shiny. It's such a pretty color. And while I've had it forever, it doesn't smell bad. It's in a tube, so it's not like it's getting like exposure, but I am pretty darn tired of using it. So I think I'm down to this last little bit. I think I've used up about 2/3 of it. Yeah, I do think I'm gonna get rid of this. I've had it so long. This is like, you know, The Bachelor. Who gets to stay? Who gets the rose? In all seriousness, at the beginning I said what I don't use of this, I'm gonna get rid of, and I think I'm gonna follow through on that. I knew that this was really unlikely that I would use it all up because a little tiny bit goes such a long way. So next up I have 4 different lip liners. I think I had 6 lip liners all together and 2 I used up, and I have these 4 left. This was one of those what was I thinking moments, because while they're skinny, there's still a fair amount of product in them. This is the one I probably focused on the most. It's pretty little now. This is the Milani lip color in Nude, which is very nice. It's a really great basic nude. This one from Laura Mercier is in the color Chestnut, and it is a nice kind of warmer shade. Here, let me just go ahead and swatch these. This is the Nude, just a good neutral nude, and then this one is the Chestnut. It's a little bit darker and a little bit warmer. And then I have another one of these from Rimmel in the shade Obsession, which is pretty dark. That's here. Let's see how much I have left of this. I don't have a whole lot left in this. And then this one is from L'Oreal, and it's like a plummy shade. And I think there's quite a bit left of this. So the problem is I use lip liners. Sometimes I use them almost instead of lipstick. So these are like my oldest ones. So I'm going to have to make a decision about which liners I'm going to keep. I think I will probably discard these ones that I've been working on all year, because if I had really loved them, I probably would have used them up. But I would say out of all of them, the Rimmel is like one of my favorite formulas. So if you're looking for a good lip liner, this is an excellent one. Now I had 2 other foundations in my use up. I had the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, which I did use up, and I have this Laneige BB Cushion, and the YSL Ink, I always say that backwards, the YSL Fusion Ink Foundation. Let's chat about this one first. I don't love cushion foundations. Let me just start off with that. I think they're super messy. First of all, the little sponge that came with it like fell apart, like the brand new sponge that came with a refill, which is what this is. If you don't know this product, it comes with 2 cushions, like 2 refills, and you just pop them out. And I had finished the first one, and I was using up the second one. So the cushion sponge applicator that came with this second one, like I used it once and the whole top cracked, and I just threw it out because it was garbage. So then I started using just a little beauty blender. I just feel like it gets so messy around here. You have to really dig in and get it. When the top seems dry, then you have to like flip the cushion. Don't love a cushion foundation. I know a lot of people do. I don't love it. So I've used up quite a bit of this. I have recently just flipped the cushion, but I think this is going to go into the garbage as well. So let's chat about this YSL Fusion Ink Foundation, which I really loved. So I'm trying not to move it around too much because I can kind of see like where my finger is. It's kind of where we are. It just barely is covering the bottom of that little applicator. So this is my second bottle of this foundation, which is pretty unusual for me to repurchase a foundation because there's always so many new ones coming out and you're always like just moving on to the next one. But I really loved this. I loved this. It felt like nothing on the skin, and it had such a beautiful finish. It was a great color match. But I'll say this year I didn't reach for it very much because I didn't feel like the color matched me as well anymore. And I didn't feel like it looked as good on my skin anymore. I know my skin has changed. I've definitely, from when I first started my channel till now, it's been 5 years. I've gone through menopause. What they say, you gain 30 pounds and your face falls apart. It's pretty accurate. So I'm not going to use this up. I'm just going to be done with this as well. So pretty much I'm clearing the slate. I'm not going to retain any of these products that I didn't use up. I feel like I did a great job using up the ones that I did. It was fun. Time to move on. I publish videos here on YouTube every Saturday morning, and I'll leave a link to last week's video right up here in case you missed it. I'll also include a link to the playlist for all my other project pan installments if you want to take a look at those. And if you are new to my channel and just stopping by for the first time, I would love it if you'd hit this little bee icon right here and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.